Hello everyone, this is Crota coming at you with a replay, a game between Titan versus LZ here on Antigua Shipyard, Protoss versus Zerg, and we'll see what's going to go down in this matchup. Zerg spawning as, or Roxas LZ spawning as the purple Zerg here at the 3 o'clock position, meanwhile Titan spawning as the green Protoss. Protoss versus Zerg here on Antigua Shipyard. This is going to be forced cross spawn positions, and we'll see how this game unfolds and unravels for us. Normally in a Protoss versus Zerg, a lot of Protoss players have really been expanding rather quickly. Forge fast expansions or even a gasless gateway expand is not out of the ordinary, as we now see a proxy pylon or a curious position on this pylon being set up by Titan. Titan could try to go for, say, a gateway here followed by either a forge here or a forge back here and a cybernetics core here in order to wall off and make sure that the natural expansion is very well protected. The Nexus would end up being part of that wall, but Zerglings would have a very difficult time running inside the base. We'll see what's going to go down here in this matchup, and as we see so far, no spawning pool has yet to come in from LZ. Meanwhile, a gateway has been warped in down over here by Titan. LZ with heavy drone saturation in his main base already. Looks like he will be going for a 15 hatch at the natural expansion. There it goes. It is now already set up as the game does get underway. A fast expansion by LZ, and we'll see what exactly Titan does to counter this. Now, so far, a lot of Protoss versus Zerg games, as I mentioned, really come down to a lot of macro. Zerg players have really learned how to fend off against large-scale attacks with the right amount of spine crawlers, similar to how the meta game in Brood War later developed, where proper scouting, you would try to drone up as heavily as possible and then convert those drones into spine crawlers when the time was right in order to fend off the attack. Nexus now warping in down over here. We can see that a gateway is already up, training up a zealot. We'll see what will be used to complete this wall off here, and we'll see whether or not Titan goes for gas. Gas is finally established at the 21 food mark, or the 21 supply mark, so that will be a significant delay in the warp gate tech and perhaps even getting a sight on that cybernetics core. Interestingly though, LZ already going for his own third base well before the 4-minute mark, as we now see an overlord come in from LZ as well. LZ will spot the forge down here, a gateway. It looks as though a probe is out to do a bit of scouting. There is one zealot over here as well, as we are going to get a cybernetics core along the back door here, making it very difficult for a Zergling to get by without facing a zealot or perhaps a photon cannon either here or here, most likely here, just because you want to protect these buildings from Zerg attack over here. Now, taking a look at the strategy so far, one probe or probes are being trained. A zealot may try to make a move out as the probe does scout out the hatchery off here. Will it be scouted out? The probe just trying to hide down over here. A pylon is now warping in, and Titan should really consider canceling this pylon. That pylon is not going to do any good. Warp gate tech not coming in. No photon cannons coming in either. As we're going to see a forge perhaps start that level 1 weapons upgrade. We can see a lot of gas being saved up, but no, we are going into a Stargate instead, and somehow I just dodged a giant bullet. I was running home just moments ago. I'm a little bit out of breath, and now it all of a sudden decided to start pouring outside. So luckily for me, I was not outside in the midst of that storm. Anyways, a zealot now attempting to run away. Zerglings will be able to clean up this pylon pretty easily. It doesn't look like a photon cannon will even be set up, as the Zerglings are going to be able to finish off this pylon in just a couple of hits there, and Titan quickly losing 200 resources, only taking down one Zergling, I believe. Yeah, only one Zergling for the cost of one pylon and one zealot. Not a good trade by any means. Chrono boosting out more probes. If you remember, Titan was supply blocked for a little bit of time since he did lose that proxy pylon on the other side. Titan is going for a weapons upgrade level 1, and we are going to see a Void Ray now make his way out. But the Void Ray, it looks as though it's rallied, yes, rallied right here. And LZ, if he catches sight of this Void Ray, will have plenty of time to respond and react. Normally, Zealots with level 1 weapons upgrade can take down Queens, and then the Void Ray is meant to take down anything else. But as soon as that Void Ray tips his hand and reveals itself, either in the center portion of the map or over here to this Overlord, I believe Queens will be trained by LZ, and that will be easily handled. Void Ray now on the move. We'll see what exactly that Void Ray does. The Void Ray looks like he's changing his direction. He may accidentally fly within sight of the Zergling at the Xel'Naga Tower. Yes, he does exactly that. The Void Ray is in position. You can see one Queen now being trained already as the Void Ray going after an Overlord. 12 drones now being trained up. LZ feeling very confident that he's going to be able to handle this Void Ray pressure as a second Queen already being transferred over here to the third base. The Void Ray, if it is able to keep its charge, no, unable to keep its charge, now going to rush head on against two Queens. That does not look like a good fight at all. The Void Ray is forced to retreat. The Void Ray does start to replenish its shields as now the Phoenix looking to perhaps clean up some Overlords. There is a Spore Crawler already being morphed in off over here. Is a Queen going to make its way over? LZ may actually be able to deal a little bit of damage as there is still no Queen back in the main base. Overlord has taken a bit of damage already. Will the Void Ray perhaps be able to focus down? No, perhaps take down the Spore Crawler. That's exactly what it needs to do. It needs to take down the Spore Crawler as opposed to anything else, but instead going after Overlords. Overlords are getting taken down. The Phoenixes are now backing off. There's one Graviton Beam, a second Graviton Beam coming in as well, but there are 3 Queens now, a total of 5 inside this main base. The Void Ray does need to push away. It may accidentally fly too close to a Spore Crawler, taking some real damage there, and now fully retreating. Titan, however, able to set up his own base at the 6 o'clock expansion location now. Zealots are warping in. The Zealots have that level 1 weapons upgrade. Immortals are being added, and we are now going into a tech switch with Colossi. Phoenix is on the move. Perhaps they will be able to hunt down some more Overlords as well, as the Overlords will get taken out slowly but surely. A Void Ray now hunting for a new Overlord will spot this down over here and quickly take it down as the Phoenixes with their very high mobility once again try to take down more and more Overlords. 2 Queens now making their way in. Is it going to be enough? Yes, one does get taken out. Could have tried to Graviton Beam the last Queen there, but more Queens are swarming back over, and those Queens are not going to be altogether that useful unless they constantly hit injects. You can see an additional macro hatch already up and running by LZ, and we are now going into an infestation pit. Zerglings and Roaches getting picked apart over here. One Graviton Beam looks like it will be enough. The Roach does get taken down, and now in comes a Queen as well. The Queen going to get picked apart as the Void Ray now makes its way over. If the Queens show up one at a time, that is going to be very, very bad news, as the Queen now going after, and no good sign there as the Queens all transfuse each other and keep each other alive. 111 supply versus 97. LZ is a bit behind. Harvester count 82 compared to 60. LZ needs to get a large army, and very, very quickly, as 6 Overlords are now being trained. Hydralisk then being added, level 1 weapons upgrade, and Roaches. Phoenix is now looking to move back. We'll see what's going to happen here as Zerglings are still swarming and dancing around. Level 1 armor upgrades coming in as a Colossus now finally being trained at the 12-minute mark in this game. First Colossus now, I believe, is finally out. There you go, as we are now going into a second one and extended thermal lance ranges. Extended thermal lance range. Pylons continuing to warp in over here. We'll see if another base will be established as the Phoenix continues to just come in and do more harassment. Another Queen may get picked off, but we do not see that many Hydralisks. No Hydralisks are out on the field yet. Down goes one Queen. There is a Spore Crawler off over here. Gonna take down a couple drones very, very easily, very quickly, but in comes some Spore Crawlers and some Hydralisks now, and that is looking to be a very, very bad fight as all of these Phoenixes desperately need to run away, taking a little bit of damage there as Hydralisks on creep do move very, very fast. Now down over here, LZ still running on 3 bases, but LZ having a difficult time trying to find a 4th base. He could try to establish this down here, and this is not a gold mineral patch. The Queens now continuing to get picked apart. More Hydralisks making their way over. Another Hydralisk may be able to finish off this one Phoenix, but that Phoenix does back off in time. We'll see what's going to come back around as the Phoenixes are still wandering around slowly but surely. Destructible rocks will get taken down over here, so LZ should have a little bit more free movement in order to capture this hatchery and defend it. Colossi, Void Rays now doing a push across the map. Level 1 weapons upgrade and armor upgrades completed. Level 2 weapons upgrade now being started as we are now going into that all-important third Colossi. And there is no Spire in play as of yet. It is currently being built. And without Corruptors, those units are gonna perhaps... those Colossi are going to perhaps be able to just chomp their way through those very, very easily. You can see Infestors are coming in. Infestors, Hydralisks, and Roaches. The Roaches are upgraded 1-1, soon to be 2-1. Zerglings are going to be upgraded 1-1 as well, or Zerglings are going to be upgraded 1-1 as well, as there is one Observer catching sight of all of this here. The Observer being very smart to get back up onto the high ground, and now we are going to see an attack come down. This is going to be a very bad pincer attack, though. Where are these units going to possibly go? As the Infestor may perhaps land a fungal growth in order to reveal that Observer. There is a split in that army. Zerglings now trying to attack the front door. There is one Colossus over here. The Zerglings now trying to file their way through, and are they going to be able to get to and take down that one photon cannon? That's going to be the problem, as we now see 4 Colossi. Phoenix is now making their way in, and LZ in a very, very bad position here, being forced to retreat. The photon cannon does get taken out, though, and now the Zerglings are going to be able to perhaps take down on multiple probes. Harvester kill count 14 versus 4, but the main attack force now chasing after Infestors, taking those units down slowly but surely, and now taking down the very expensive Infestors. Infestors move very slowly, as we now see the main attack force of Titan just simply walking across the map. Corruptors are now finally being added, but it may be too little too late. 4 Colossi standing tall. We are now getting into Blink. The Stalkers will be able to focus down those Corruptors rather easily, as we may get a little bit of a split attack here. Roaches now trying to make their way in, and the Roaches are trying to funnel in on all 3 sides, and this is exactly what LZ needs. But is it going to be enough? Roaches attacking from all sides and all points. It looks as though the force fields are in play. The Colossi, there are still 3 of them, and now in come some Corruptors. The Corruptors need to focus down those Colossi. 1 Colossi now down, 2 more left, as it looks like Titan still with a very large force and continuing to move. LZ has even supply, but he also has a lot more Harvesters, but Titan not attacking for some reason. Titan now deciding to retreat here, as what is going to be happening, I'm not 100% sure, as Titan decides not to strike the iron while it's hot, and LZ may be able to macro back up into this game. Roaches, however, just running straight into a group of Colossi there, just being all the sacrificial lambs to the slaughter, and LZ quickly realizes that he lost the game and gives the GG. So LZ losing game 1 in the series. Stay tuned for game 2.